guys, it's Westie and welcome to my 200 sub special. Now, I'm new at this draw my life thing, so just try to follow along with me and I will try to follow along with what I drew last night. Sound good? Sounds good. Once again, thank you guys so much for all the support and for helping me to hit that 200 sub mark. Love you all. All right, looks like we're getting started. So, I was born on January 13th, and I am not giving away the year. Sorry, it's a trade secret. Anyway, I was born in Sydney, Ohio, a very small town, to a mother and father who did not want children at the time. So I was adopted by a wonderful couple in Columbus, Ohio, Celia and Mike. And of course, living in Columbus and not too far away from it, they were huge Buckeye fans, which means, yes, even though my name's Westie, oh, there I am, see, little me, I grew up saying, "Go Bucks." Now, as I was growing up, my parents were not only Ohioans, but they were also part-time Floridians. My dad's best friend that he had gone to Ohio State with lived in Florida, and we spent a lot of our time there out sailing on the boat, and while doing so, of course, we had music on, which is where I first heard Jimmy Buffett. Now, at the time, I was way too cool to admit that I liked it, but I actually did. So, I guess that kind of started my closet parrot head thing. As we came back to Ohio, I had a life of country clubs, and my parents wanted me to wear the cute little pink dresses and be all sweet and all nice like everyone else. And that just wasn't the life for me. In fact, they tried everything to get me out of my tomboy phase. They put me in lessons for different sports. We tried golf. I loved putt-putt. Regular, not so much. Then we tried swimming. I love swimming. Swim team though? Not so much my thing. They even tried dive team, and no, didn't go over either. Finally, tennis. Yes, while attempting to smash a ball in your opponent's face sounds like fun, it still wasn't for me. So, I kind of grew lonely and depressed. Like I didn't quite fit in where I was living. My parents had this ideal still of this little girl in the little pink dress when all my mind was on was getting back to the ocean. That's the only place I wanted to be. The pink dress never worked. I was always a tomboy, and my best friend was a dog named Happy. One of the things that we used to enjoy doing was going out and, of course, tearing my clothes up and climbing trees. And there's my sad little drawing of my dog Happy. Happy was a boxer, and Happy was my best friend through my elementary years until, unfortunately, she passed away. So, we're going to move on to middle school. Now, middle school, I did not fit in at all. the only way I could find to fit in was to kind of hang out with the guys. Found myself hanging out with skaters, and to stay out of trouble, playing video games. In fact, that was one of the highlights of my year, was getting the brand new Nintendo with Super Mario on it. And me and my friends would hang out and skate and play video games, and I was satisfied for the time, but not much else was really going on. We were still going to Florida in between. We still made our trips, which made it even harder. Though I would never admit it at that time, yes, I was still listening to Jimmy Buffett and becoming more and more of a parrot head every day. But it was always back to Ohio. High school was a much darker time for me. I couldn't figure out where I fit in once again, so I started hanging out with the quote-unquote hoods at the time. I even had a black leather jacket with fringe on it, which for some reason we all thought was cool back then. I was also getting good grades though, but trying to be cool, I kept that a secret. I would go to concerts with friends, Metallica, Slayer, Megadeth, you name it. And the funny thing was, I would go home and dream of the ocean and listen to my Jimmy Buffett once again, which gave me a sense of still not quite fitting in and putting on a mask. I wasn't quite who I said I was. Now, while in high school, I had lots of friends, and we hung out and did numerous things, but one thing stuck out. I was told in high school that the only way I would ever make it in life was on my looks. It really stuck with me and broke my heart, and it came back to haunt me later on. It was time for college. Everybody gets excited about college, right? Yeah, well, everybody except me. I did what I felt was right and went to college like my parents expected. I started out in early childhood education and took a job as a teacher when I wasn't in school. And I was all happy and bright, and during the day I seemed like the perfect teacher. But at night and during class time, which I wasn't going to, I was skipping to play pool, I wasn't really doing so well. I decided to go into the punk lifestyle. And punk somehow led to goth. And I'm not talking about the sparkly ones, so please don't go there. These were the original goths. And I thought I found a group I kind of fit in with. Nobody understood them either, and, well, I thought maybe I could make it. But, once again, life came calling. I spent my time playing video games with friends and drinking way, way, way too much. But it did keep me out of trouble, which was a good thing. So, while in college, I couldn't quite figure out what I wanted to do. I had started with early childhood education, decided it wasn't for me, and went into the sciences. In fact, I went into a tri-major, anthropology, archaeology, and ichthyology. And then it was time for the dreaded work. Oh. Well, since I wasn't quite the usual average college student, I went into modeling because what they had said stuck in my head. I would always make it on my looks. Just 10 more pounds became a serious eating disorder, which landed me in the hospital and almost killed me. I got down to 68 pounds at one point. I don't know if I was covering up that I didn't fit in, or if it had just stuck with me that that was the only way I was going to make it. And since I didn't know what I wanted to do, it seemed logical enough at the time. Now, after skipping a few too many classes, I decided I was going to start working at a club. No more modeling for me. Those days were over. I became a club kid. I loved spending at the club. I loved techno. It was in its prime. And I loved anime. And at the same time, I was still playing my video games. Noticing a recurring theme here. Video games were always my escape. I'm not sure that I ever felt that I fit in, but no matter what I did, I could go to those video games. And, as you can see, yes, still a closet parrot head. So, finally, my parents decided it was time to get a real job, as they put it. So I did. I became a tattoo artist, and I also went into apprenticeship for doing piercings. I guess that's not quite what they meant by a real job. I wasn't making enough money, and they had decided that it was time for me to lead a normal life like they had always wanted. At this point, I had given in. So, I had been dating a guy for a while, and his parents wanted the same, and we figured, what the hell? We got married. We bought an adorable little starter house. I would be out there every day mowing the lawn. I got a job as a governmental auditor. I would hop in my little car and drive to work every day, bright and early, and come home and do it all over again and again and again. And I was miserable. I was completely miserable. In fact, both of us were. So we decided to end the relationship. No hard feelings, just neither of us wanted what we were stuck in. And me, I wanted to go on adventures. So I told him to keep the house and hopped on a plane and took off. It's kind of where my life really started. This is where it gets exciting. Of course, I took off for somewhere tropical and warm. Still not sure what I wanted to do. I decided to island hop for a while. And I went this way, that way, all over the Caribbean. Till one day I decided it was time to settle down. Down US 1 I went and landed in Key West. I had missed it so much that I decided to stay. Yeah, did a little sailing on the side, listening to Buffett. No worries, no one judged me. I felt like I had finally found a home, and I was happy. Hey, and there were even sharks there. And after being in Key West for a while, I was very excited to become what is known as an official freshwater conch. If you don't know, Key West is the Conch Republic. And if you live there long enough, you can become a freshwater conch, which is a citizen that didn't grow up there or wasn't born there, but had lived there long enough to become one of the locals. One of the proudest moments of my life. But adventure still called, and eventually I met someone and moved out to Southern California. I could surf. I had a job working with rays. I had a job working with sharks and skates, and life seemed pretty good. I was by the water, and I was happy. And then disaster struck. But that's a whole nother story. And I ended up having no choice but to go back to where my family was in Ohio. Reluctantly getting on the plane, I headed back to Ohio, not knowing what was next. While in Ohio, I couldn't surf. There was no water. There was no rays. Nothing. I was going downhill. Everything had been taken from me that I had fought so hard for. And I was landlocked again. Then one day, quite a few months later, I met a guy who seemed fairly nice. He told me his name was John, and he happened to be in the U.S. Coast Guard. Hey, water, what do you know? Good looking guy, water, and he was from Guam, which at the time I had no clue where it was, to be honest with you. But he made me happy, and so I moved again. This time, not quite as tropical, but to Maryland. That's where he was stationed. And love turned into marriage, and I became a military wife, something I never ever thought I would be, especially since I have that hippie side to me. A little bit after getting married, we would go shark tooth hunting, 2,000 shark teeth and ray plates and counting. Cataloged as well, nonetheless. I started noticing I was slowing down, and on January 13th, yes, my birthday, I got some wonderful news. We found out I was pregnant, and it was a boy. And this is where little Kai West Rages comes into the picture. There he is, my little guy. He was tiny. Kai, meaning ocean. West, of course, after Key West. And Ray uphold the family name. We were very, very happy. And soon after, John took a voluntary separation from the military, which had us moving back to Ohio. He wanted to spend more time with his son. While in Ohio, we still traveled. We went to Hawaii. We found out our son was a natural surfer. My husband, at the time, got to go back to what he loved growing up, which was surfing. And I learned that not only was I good at surfing, but that I loved SUP. If you don't know what that is stand-up paddleboarding. We were all very, very happy at that time. Even though it was just a getaway here and there, it was still fun and we still traveled. Now, as things do, times changed. And And after a while, we decided it was best that we remain friends, but we're no longer compatible to be married. But we still loved our son very, very much. So we made a pact to always be friends, which, by the way, he is my best friend, and I still do consider him family, and not just for my son's sake, because he is a wonderful, wonderful man. So, now, it is me, and my son, and my cat. And then 2015 and 2016, some things changed. Unfortunately, my father passed away. I had a pretty severe car accident. I had to have surgery, which was left over from my eating disorder. And in 2016, I decided that I needed to do something to get away, and got on YouTube. I started editing. I started a group of small gamers, and I started a channel of my own until I had my surgery and had to take a break. I decided I was not going to stop. But thanks to the support from all of my friends and all of my fans, we made it through it. Yes, I'm still learning how to speak, but you guys have stuck by me. And who would have ever thought that in 2017 we would hit 200 subscribers? Thank you guys so much. And now, a few of my friends wanted to say something. I really hope it's nice.
Hey Westie, congratulations on your 200 sub special. I know you could do it. I hope that you get more subs and you grow more as a person and you get better soon. This is Enzo. Later!
Hey, what's going on, Key Westie? This is Hector. On behalf of Two Awkward Dragons, we would like to say congratulations on your recent milestone, and continue going. You're awesome, you got great material, and you're pretty funny, so we definitely love your material. I definitely love it, and I do hope for the best and wish you the most prosperity into it in 2017, and we'll be talking soon. Mwah! Take care. Bye.
Hi Key Westie. Here at Pixel Juice, we just wanted to say congratulations on reaching 200 subscribers.
Yeah, congratulations. Congrats.
Also, somebody tells us it's your birthday today, so happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Key Westie.
Happy birthday to...
You'll get a channel strike.
Oh yeah, sure.
So, congratulations again, and look forward to seeing more from you in the future. Did you get the check? Did you send the check through? Did you get the money before we did this?
Yeah, she promised she would.
I told you. I told you, whenever we do an appearance on anyone's channel, whenever we do a collaboration, we need the money first.